Correct me if I'm wrong, but Ali, he told you directly that his biggest weakness was women, right?
No, he would tell me everything. He says his biggest weakness is women. I said, well, honey, that's where you're gonna go down to. This is where I get off.
One thing that women hate more than anything else is being bored. And when you don't cheat, you're boring. You better give your woman something to worry about, because the worst thing you can do with a modern woman is to let her feel comfortable.
You can still feel the pain in her voice. She needs to be mad at her husband, not the other woman, because she didn't make vows with you. I think he cheated on all of them. Muhammad Ali paid dearly for what he took part in to disrespect this woman. Respectfully, the question is, how could your husband disrespect you like that? And perhaps the most piercing and truthful comment of them all, she sounds like she's still in love. Mr. Ali, you hurt your queen.
This has come from the mouths of women, not men, the mouths of women. They don't want to be bored.
At the age of 17, Boyd married Muhammad Ali on August 18, 1967, in a marriage she claims was arranged by her Muslim parents. In an interview with NBC6, Boyd recounted meeting Ali when she was 10 years old at her hometown mosque. Boyd stated Ali signed an autograph for her while humorously remarking on his future fame, saying, "Listen here, little girl, this is my name. I'm going to be famous. You need to keep that because it's going to be worth a lot of money." Boyd said, "You'll never be famous with that name." And I walked away.
I said it in a low tone. I said, you just trying to convince yourself you gonna win, but you ain't. I was driving the car. He swung in the rain. He swung at me and I moved. I saw it coming and I ducked. And I said, what the hell? And then I just said, pep. And I popped him in his face, and then his eye swelled up and he started bleeding. I said, oh Lord. He said, man, I gotta kill her. I gotta kill her. I gotta kill the bee.
That's enough!
You have a fiery spirit. You will make a worthy mate.
He said, stop the car, because I said, if he gonna try to hit me, I'm just gonna pop him, pop, and I backhanded him while I was driving the car.
Is that a bite mark? One of the Klingons attacked me. Did you do something to provoke him? Not him, her. And she wasn't provoked, she was aroused. Ah, I'm not surprised.
What have I said over the years? Give your woman the gift of discomfort, meaning giving her something to think about. Understand something, that the kind of woman you want has been imprinted on by a man before you. And the man before you that had her heart, he had her mind. In order to get her mind, he had to keep her mind occupied.
Khalilah and Ali's marriage faced difficulties, notably due to Ali's infidelities.
He said, get out the car, get out the car. I said, I'm gonna get out the car. But when I get out the car, you gonna drive up to the camp and you gonna get out, and I'm gonna take the car down to the hotel and I'm gonna get the first plane to Chicago.
In January 1977, Khalilah filed for divorce, citing differences in morals and respect within the family. She later remarked, I left him because he wasn't what he said he was.
That's what you gonna do. And I gets out and he gets in the car. And you know what he did? He did exactly what I told him to do. And he drove the car.
Because of his lack of morals and disrespect to family, I don't think he deserves the name Muhammad Ali. I'm going to call him Cassius Clay from now on.
You don't keep her mind occupied with flowers, chocolates, and love letters. You keep her mind occupied with other women. Women care about the opinion of other women.
On first impression, one might think that I'm making this video as a criticism of Khalilah Ali's interview and her recollection of Muhammad Ali not being faithful to her, and many people lamenting how much pain she must have been in going through all of this. But the thing that I noticed right off the bat is that she was married after she divorced Muhammad Ali. She told Muhammad Ali that she's not going to call him by Muhammad Ali anymore. She said she was going to call him Cassius Clay. But to this day, her name remains Khalilah Ali. In effect, what I'm saying is that this is a Klingon love story. And what she's really doing is writing a love letter to a past love in just the most modern way possible.
The thing about Laila is Laila look more like me than all my kids. You know, so everybody thinks she's my daughter. you know, she's a very respectful woman. On her other hand, her mother shouldn't have done what she did, you know, publicly like that. That's just disrespectful. But, you know.
What did her mom do?
She went with my husband when I was married. Gallivanting all over the town and everything. And that was just a disrespectful thing to do. But, you know, everybody gets their up and comings in their own way. So, you know, it was a wrong thing to do. I don't understand how women could do that, because I would never do that to somebody's husband or something like that. I would never do that.
How did you find that out?
How did I find it out? He told me. Ali told me everything, tells me everything. And she would just do it in front of us.
He was the villain. She couldn't have done it without his disrespect. Women never forget that pain. That's very disrespectful and hurting. You deserve so much better. So much better, huh?
If you believe a broke man doesn't deserve, then you believe a rich man deserves all he wants. You made that choice. You said broke men don't deserve me. So you said only rich men deserve me. And guess what? There's less rich men than there are females. Welcome to the earth you have built, feminists. Welcome to the earth you have built, women. If you're going to sit there and have such unrealistic financial expectations from the man you date, you're going to share him.
Your woman wants to be with the man who other women want to shebang-a-bang. Don't kill me. Don't get upset because you think it's not right. If you decide to go through with cheating or not, that's up to you. The fact of the matter is she needs to know that you will leave her.
I did mention that this is a modern day love letter, right? Remember, this woman divorced Muhammad Ali in 1976. If you are 40 anything, you weren't even alive when this divorce took place. Here she is, 50 years later, going viral, speaking not of the husband that she married after she got the divorce, but speaking of the infidelity of the husband whose last name she continues to carry. Why? Because he was the heavyweight champion of the world. He was the greatest of all time. And that's the man that she continues to want to be connected with. And instead of many young ladies understanding, hey, listen, if I'm going to deal with a high value man, this is what comes with it. It's shame on him for not being faithful to her when how many Muhammad Alis have there been walking on this planet in our lifetimes? One. Could she have been with an average guy that would have drank her bathwater and never cheated on her? Of course she could have. But that's not the man she married. She married the GOAT. And now it's not really complaining about the GOAT. It's just, I wish I could have had the GOAT all to myself.
This was back in the day. But when it was there, it happened. Broad daylight. Everybody read it. You could read it in the articles. You could read it in the books, the pictures of her flirting with him and going with him, being seen with him when his wife is at home with his children. That was the worst pain I've ever seen me go through, ever. And for him to be stupid enough to do it in public like that, that took a lot of balls.
She needs to know you will leave. Don't talk about it. She needs to know that you will bounce.
I don't know how somebody could do it. I would never do that.
I had no idea. So you two were still legally married and she was going out in public with him?
Yeah, everybody saw it. Yeah, it's written. He says, Veronica going with Muhammad Ali's wife, his wife and children at home, and she stuck by him for all these years. They didn't do it behind closed doors. They did it in public.
The most powerful Uno reverse card any man can play is the presence of absence. You don't announce when you're breaking out. You just break out. And when you break out, make sure you show up with one that's better than the one you had.
Ali, he told you directly that his biggest weakness was women, right?
No, he would tell me everything. He says his biggest weakness is women. I said, well, honey, that's where you're going to go down to. This is where I get off. You can be free. I ain't your mama. So you can go to anybody you want. But you ain't going to do it on my watch, honey. It's not happening. Call me a fool. Call me a fool. Said, well, you want to leave all this money? I said, you remember who helped you in the beginning? Excuse me? It's not about money anymore. It's about respect. You can keep your money. There you go. I've been with this man all my life. The reason why I didn't help be in the movie, they can't do a movie without me. I didn't want to be a part of it because if I become a big movie star, I don't want to give him the credit for it. So I just left it alone. When you try to make it and try to do your due diligence, but if the other partner is not going to do it with you, there's no room for it to exist. So the more I prayed, the more I saw me not really being with the husband that I loved and I cherished for all those years, and I supported. And I said, well, if he doesn't want to fight for his family like I'm fighting for our family, then there's no place for us. So I had to let it go.
I'm not going to sit here and quote unquote condone cheating, but it does become clearer and clearer to me as days pass by. The reason why there is so much hate for Kevin Samuels, particularly from young black women, is that the rules for high value men were never supposed to apply to black men. When you hear of what the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali, was dealing with when he went home, it makes you wonder, if he couldn't get a pass to be what a high value man is, say like Elon Musk, if you will, then what black man could? And the answer is he was never supposed to be able to express himself as a high value man. This is not about what's right or wrong. This is about the fact that his wife, 50 years later, is still lamenting the fact that she couldn't have Muhammad Ali all to herself. In a society where young ladies are even enjoying themselves in a way that traditionally high value men have always done.
When I was sort of at my kind of peak, like touring arenas, whatever, and I'll say it because this is where you say it. Were they a professional athlete? Sure. Did I text them like late at night and they came over, went down on me, and then I said, I'm so tired, I'm so sorry, and they left? Yes. And you know who you are.
Not the look into the camera.
And that's happened a couple times and I'm not proud of it. And I think like, you know, and keep the ambulance is good for this moment because this is like when I actually get canceled. No, but it's all about, you know, you want to be a giving lover and whatever. But at this moment, it was like, you know, some people like will blow a guy and that's the end of the night. So I kind of, you know, did it my way, to quote Frank Sinatra.
We have to come to some point of admitting the double standard that we are living under in this modern Western culture. Possibly the greatest boxer of all time, maybe even the greatest or at least the most important athlete of all time, is resting in his grave and being criticized for living his life as a high value man. Now, you could talk about marriage and whatnot, but in those days, it was marriage and that's the way they did things. But all things considered, he just enjoyed his life essentially the way that any high value man would have done in the 70s. And here we are at the same time that we are criticizing this man for exercising his options, that we're seeing Amy Schumer being celebrated for essentially doing the same thing. Of course, I don't think that Amy Schumer has any children or a family, and Muhammad Ali had a very big family, but one gets praise, the other gets criticism. And all it tells me is that many young ladies simply are not ready to deal with a high value man in the West. The rules are different. I'm not a high value man yet, but I can understand this one thing. If you have to spend the hours in the gym or in the lab or doing whatever it takes for you to become one of the elite men, the last thing you're going to have is one woman saying that your entirety of your sexuality belongs to me or you're a bad man. Because that man can say, you know what, I don't want to marry you. I'll see you tonight. You can leave, just like Amy Schumer told her love interest. There's nothing wrong with that, right? He actually married the women that he was with and had families with them. But again, this is all just a love letter to the fact that, well, maybe she misses Muhammad Ali, but she certainly misses the fame that came from being married to him. I had a hold over the most coveted man on the planet. And now all I can do is look back to 50 years ago when I walked away from him because he was with other women and say, I was in pain, and everyone look at me because, simply put, nobody cares about the other 50 years that came after I divorced him. That's part of the game. Young ladies want the high value men. They don't want what comes with it. And so essentially what women of the West are telling men that are high value men in training, if you want to be a high value man, don't do it with a Western woman, because she's going to be jealous and she's going to kick you if you're ever down, instead of understanding how the game is played and taking her place. Because what it looks like is that they're unable to admit that. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. I'll catch you next video. Take care, guys.